Professor Stillwell, who was my predecessor's department head, interviewed me in New York at a conference, and I came out here blind, essentially, and said to my wife, "Well, 2 years and we're out of here." It never happened. And I was called aeronautica because aerospace, and particularly the space part, was more science fiction in those days than anything else.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
When my wife and I flew in to look for a place to live in the summer of 1969, the captain of the flight got on the intercom and said, the Eagle has just landed in the Apollo program, and I thought, well, that's a pretty good indication that I should be in an aerospace engineering department. We've had 4 of our graduates become astronauts, and that's kind of rewarding too, because that gets a certain amount of notoriety.
There were several factors that attracted me to the Grainger College of Engineering. One is its very large and highly respected faculty, most of whom are highly successful in their fields. They're doing very cutting-edge and dynamic research, and so that provides me with a very large pool of potential mentors and collaborators that I could draw from when developing my own research program.
Part of the reason I'm here is because I want to carry on that legacy. Not only who taught them, what they became, but make sure that those students, as they're coming through and they're used to doing it a certain way, realize all of those predecessors, what they understood and how they got to the industry to where it is, so they can go forward.
Students beget students, I guess, and then you're sort of a grandfather of that generation.
By talking to alumni or talking to recruiters, it is clear that graduating from a top engineering aerospace program like Illinois, it's kind of the basic requirement, let's say it this way, right? But very often the questions that our students get during interviews are, what are you doing for senior design? And then what other stuff have you done while at Illinois? And the idea was to really encourage the students to take active role and eventually leadership role in these extracurricular projects. It's amazing to see what they managed to accomplish.
One of the reasons that academia I think is so special is that you don't just get to do research, you get to kind of build the next researchers. I focus both in the classroom and in my lab a lot on problem solving. So I hope to, support the existing teaching and research efforts in making independent researchers and engineers. Having students in my lab has been, I think, my favorite part of the job.
I think one of the things that makes the program at Illinois unique compared to some of our peers is the opportunities for the students to get involved with these registered student organizations. I think the number and successes that our student groups have, along with the resources that we make available to those student groups, really, we stand out in that regard.
What I foresee is that aircraft that we operate today are going to look very different than what we operate 10, 15 years from now. Notably, cases where we have propulsion systems interacting with aerodynamic systems, that we can leverage those interactions in a beneficial way will change the ways that we see air transport in the future.
The new Talbot Lab expansion will give us a lot more room than we currently have in our 2-closet lab here. We'll be able to put our equipment in for testing out our solar arrays, for doing vibration testing of satellites where we shake them, much like they'll see on the trip to orbit.
It's always been a department that has focused on the fundamentals. Over the past 5 years, the research expenditures has grown by over 60%. And that's due to really the dedication of the faculty members and the graduate students.
Our aerospace engineering undergrads are some of the best in the country. It's incredible. As we look at their successes, they become alumni. They're leaders in the aerospace industry, and we're awfully proud of them.